Makutsi had looked pained at the levity of these remarks. "It doesn't matter if there's no actual competition," she said. "Competitiveness is a state of mind, Mma. It shows that you are aware of the client's interests. It is all about efficiency and value for money." "I think we are very good value for money," countered Mma Ramotswe. "Sometimes we don't even charge anything at all. I have sent out many bills like that. Grand total, 0 pula. What better value for money can there be?" "To somebody who has not had commercial training, perhaps. No disrespect, Mma. But when I was at the Botswana Secretarial College, we learned about some of these very complicated matters. Some people have not had that opportunity. Not that I'm saying it's their fault, Mma. No, I'm not saying anything like that." In the end, Mma Ramotswe had agreed to the new billing system and had been instructed by Makutsi as to how to keep a note of every moment spent on a client's affairs. "So, if you are thinking about a case, Mma, just thinking, you should still bill the client for that." Mma Ramotswe expressed astonishment. "Should I write for thinking about your case for 18 minutes? Should I write that sort of thing?" Makutsi nodded. "Yes, but perhaps it's best not to use the word thinking. Some people would imagine that thinking is free. So you should put something like, for consideration of your affairs. That is a very useful expression. Or you might write, for reviewing your affairs. That is even better." Mma Ramotswe looked thoughtful. "But what about drinking tea? Let's say that I want to think about a case and I decide to do so over a cup of tea. Can I charge for that? Can I write, for drinking tea, 50 pula? Makutsi laughed. "Oh, really, Mma Ramotswe, no, that would not do. The client would say, 'Why should I pay them for drinking tea?' So, what should I write? If you are talking to me about it while we're drinking tea, then you should write case conference. That is a good way of describing it." She looked defiantly at Mma Ramotswe. "I'm not making all this up, Mma. This is the way it's done these days. I'm simply bringing you into the present. That's all." "What was wrong with the past?" asked Mma Ramotswe. She intended the question seriously. There were too many people who took the view that the past was bad, that we should rid ourselves of all traces of it as soon as possible. But the past was not bad. Some of it may have been less than perfect. There had been cruelties then that we had done well to get rid of, but there had also been plenty of good things. There had been the old Botswana ways, the courtesy and the kindness. There had been the attitude that you should find time for other people and not always be in a desperate rush. There had been the belief that you should listen to other people, should talk to them, rather than spend all your time fiddling with your electronic gadgets. There had been the view that it was a good thing to sit under a tree sometimes and look up at the sky and think about cattle or pumpkins or non-electric things like that. But an argument of that sort would never prevail against the march of modernization, and so Mma Ramotswe just thought these things rather than expressed them. Nor did she put up much of a fight against the new billing system, which had all the authority of the modern behind it, and the endorsement, too, it would seem, of the Botswana Secretarial College.